Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to another mental wellness video from Shia Muslim Council. Our topic this week is domestic violence. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and we feel that it is a very important topic to draw attention and awareness to, as it occurs across all cultures, all religions, all nationalities, all ages, and genders. Domestic violence is not specific to any one particular group of people. Domestic violence is any particular pattern of controlling behaviors in an intimate relationship where one partner tries to control the behavior, the thoughts, the actions, the freedoms, the independence of the other partner. This can take many forms, and we will discuss what those behaviors look like in our video next week. This week, what I would like to discuss is the fact that we need to normalize the conversation around things like domestic violence, which are definitely difficult and painful to talk about. However, when we don't talk about or acknowledge that these things are happening in our communities, then we make it very difficult for those who need to seek help to feel that they can reach out and have resources and support around them. The problem with the resources that are available in the country to Muslims are that generally domestic violence shelters or perhaps counselors may not be trained in the unique needs of Muslim people. And the reason that I'm saying people is that domestic violence is not just a problem for women. In the United States, statistics show that 1 in 4 women is a survivor of domestic violence, and 1 in every 9 men is a survivor of domestic violence, which means when we look around at our community, those numbers apply to us also. Those numbers do not discriminate according to your religion, background, or gender. When Muslims try to reach out for help, generally their first step is to go to community leaders, community elders, or faith leaders in their community. And while that is a positive thing that they are taking that step to reach out, it's also difficult and may not be the appropriate step because they may not be trained how to specifically deal with the effects of domestic violence. A lot of the time, community elders may be concerned with trying to keep the marriage, trying to preserve the family's reputations, and due to the shame and guilt that is associated around this topic, a lot of the time when victims speak out, they're encouraged to be patient, to pray, to have stronger faith, and go back to those abusive relationships. While this may be well-intentioned, it is extremely dangerous and extremely damaging. At the same time, while our faith leaders are extremely knowledgeable and trained in theology, not all of them have the background of training in the mental health effects of domestic violence victims and survivors. Alternatively, when victims of domestic violence try to reach out to non-Muslim therapists, counselors, or shelters, then they are often met again with a lack of knowledge and training. Unfortunately, the media portrays Muslim women as being submissive and the Muslim culture as perhaps not treating women fairly. So a lot of the time, people don't know how to deal with domestic violence when it comes to Muslim victims and survivors. Shelters are not set up to accommodate the dietary needs, the spiritual needs of Muslims, where they need to eat a specific diet, they need to have room and time to go and complete their prayers, and so on and so forth. So it is very important for us to set up resources in our communities where victims and survivors of domestic violence feel that they have somewhere to turn. This starts with each one of us. Sometimes we may know that something is going on with a family member, with a friend, or somebody who is close to us, and we choose to turn a blind eye because we think maybe this is not any of our business, or maybe we don't want to interfere and make things worse. but it's very important for us to be a safe and non-judgmental place where our fellow community members can come and talk to us and know that we are a safe person to talk to, that we can educate ourselves on the resources that are available in our community so that we have some advice to give them and a place to send them. This is a very painful and difficult topic, and it affects not only the person experiencing the domestic violence, but also everybody else in the home, including children. Victims and survivors of domestic violence are at a much, much higher risk of developing a range of mental health disorders, such as panic disorders, anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as some personality disorders. Children often exhibit health conditions such as headaches, stomach aches, irritability, difficulty focusing at school, and they may also be exposed to the same type of violence in the home. It is very, very important that we all open our minds and acknowledge that this is something that is very real and is happening in various communities in various countries around the world and does not discriminate according to religion or gender. In our video next week, we will be talking about the different types of domestic violence, what those behaviors look like, and also what to do if you are experiencing them. Inshallah, we can all open our minds to be a better support system for each other. If you are somebody who is suffering from domestic violence, I encourage you to reach out to the Domestic Violence Hotline, and I will leave their number in the comments. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.